Hi, ready.
Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better start be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better start be coming. Nah, you're coming, yeah. We coming. We better start be coming. When the year is me checking you again, cause you go out. We coming. We better start be coming. We coming.
And so to you, we say welcome to another edition of The Bottom Line. This is a program that brings you information about Liberia and from Liberia and about Liberians. Tonight, by the way, today is the 12th day of May 2023. This means that we are in the 5th month of the year and we are moving gradually. We have 5 more months to election, exactly 5 more months minus 2 days because it's October 10th. So I'd like to say welcome to The Bottom Line. If you just joining us, this is the place to be, and here's where we discuss the issues and get from the top to the bottom. My name is Linford Goa, along with Paul the Lord Tripley there in the UK. And today is a big day. The entire weekend will be a big weekend for the CPP in the political history of Liberia. And so let me say welcome to Paul. How are you doing, bro?
Well, Linfo, good evening from my end. And I'm not doing too good today because it's one of the saddest days in my family's life.
Oh,
Today was the day that we laid my little cousin at rest. So yeah, everybody, but men have to do what a man have to do. So I have to come on the show today, look, and get me going. So apart from that, I'm good. Family just the crying for the little Mona. She's gone. She was laid to rest. Yeah. So I will say good evening to our followers as well. Yeah. And a man must do what a man must do. I'm back here with you for another edition, special edition, CPP, all the way. Let's talk.
okay. And now again, on behalf of the crew, the Borderland crew, and all of our viewers, we like to register our deepest condolences to you in particular and to the family in general. And, like we've always said, nobody can get used to death, but and we know this is the final destination for all mankind. And like somebody told me one time, he said, if you don't want to die, then don't be born. So we all have to go.
That's
But
right.
we extend our condolences to you and the family. But we're going to take a musical break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing what we have to discuss today, and of course, that is the conventions. Let me add a long S to it, and somebody will ask why I'm making it with a long S, but I will explain that at the when we get back. So this is Takunji.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people that's us. The government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us. Betray us so much. I said, the people who us, the government betray us people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Okay. And so we say formally welcome to all of you, our viewers. This beautiful Friday evening, the 12th day of May, like I said. And this weekend is going to be a big weekend in the history of politics in Liberia, as one of Liberia's growing and strongest political parties, the ANC and that of Liberty Party, meet in Nimba County on a convention or two different conventions to elect their leaders. And I have with me in studio, as usual, my co-producer Paul, the Lord, the Churukle, and together we will be discussing these issues. And so let me just go quickly to Paul. Paul, you know about the convention. What's on your mind? And what are you thinking?
Well, good evening, Linfa, and good evening to our followers. It's good to be back here. And if you're here for the first time, kindly share our show, like our page, and then when we come on, you'll be notified. We're also on the online radio. And yes, Linfa, the convention started already, and I kind of excited. The 10 of people from all sector of Liberia in Nimba County, specifically Ganta, is kind of on fire. And the CPP ANC had their convention today to officially nominate Mr. Cummings as the running mate. I mean, to be the runner for 2023. And also the Liberty Party had a convention also in the same Nima. So yes, it's interesting. And tomorrow is the big one, the one that everyone is looking forward to tomorrow. So yes, that's what on my mind, and I'm excited to be here. Although I'm between two sad and excitement.
Well, like you earlier on said, man has to do what man has to do,
Yeah.
because that's what we call man. They say man can't talk all. Man, sometimes it hard, but man can't talk all. Man has to do what man has to do. Again, on behalf of the crew, our condolences to you. Let's welcome to Self Control, our regular viewer. And we have Mr. Cyrus Mentor Johnson. And he says he's watching us all the way from Nigeria. And he says thanks. And we say thank you to Cyrus for joining us. Please help us to share the show. We come on every Tuesday and Friday here on the bottom line. And by the way, we will be going live on radio, not national radio, because national radio is ERPC, but we'll be going on Red Power FM in Monrovia next week, Tuesday. That's just a couple of days from now, or a couple of hours, 72 hours or so from now. We'll be getting on Red Power TV radio in Liberia. And so, welcome to you. For those of you whose name I can see, Miata Dakina, you're also welcome. So, Paul, this is the big day that we've been talking about. I don't know how to start, because I don't want to put you in a situation that you can't handle. I don't want to ask you the kind of question that I should be asking the ANC and the Liberty Party folks that are in Ganta, Nimba County right now. But as the two parties that make up the CPP go to these separate conventions, because we understand that the Liberty Party is also having its convention, while at the same time the ANC was having its convention. And we know the outcome of that ANC convention, that is, Mr. Cummings was elected unanimously on a white ballot with no opposition to be the standard bearer of the CPP in the coming elections. So the other side of the CPP, which is the Liberty Party, is also having its convention. And tomorrow they will be marching together with one voice. What do you expect from tomorrow's convention? Because that's going to be the grand convention. What do you expect?
Well, the thing is, I think tomorrow will be the day that Liberians will see who is Mr. Cummings, and tomorrow will be the day that people will feel the election, that the election have now, campaign have officially started. And tomorrow will also be the day that we hope and we keep just guessing that Mr. Cummings will announce his running mate tomorrow. That day is the one what we all been waiting for. If that the day, I mean tomorrow will be an exciting day for all CPP members, ANC slide Liberty Party. So yes, we're looking forward to that, and we'll see who's this person, because there have been a lot of speculation around social media. The next day, Breastbank Philly, the tomorrow Yummy, the other day will be Charlene, next day is somebody else. So we don't know who he's coming with. So tomorrow, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Okay, now, we're going to do something here. Welcome, Mona Kripa. we're going to do something here, you and I, Paul, and
Yeah.
it's going to be exceptional. You know, put me in certain category, like maybe you want to get my view. You can ask me. That's what I mean. You can ask me
Oh
to get
yeah,
my view.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, right, we've been hearing series of names, right? Benson
Yeah.
Garfinle and Charlie Bronski, Councillor, and also Senator Nyomli Kanga. But the first question I'll ask you: why is it that all of the names that we've been hearing, okay, and then added to that, Nyomli, Senator Nyomli Kanga, the next name we heard lately, just about two days ago, was former Senator of Bonkante, Edward Yala. But the question I want to ask you, why is it that we got the names like Senator Nyomri Kanga coming from Grand Paso County? Then we got Benson Finley coming from Grand Paso County, Charlie Brodsky coming from Grand Paso County, and two of those people are also from the Liberty Party. So what's interesting here about Grand Paso County?
No, nothing interesting about Grand Bassa County. I think the Unity Party is making this very interesting because they keep putting names off for Mr. Cummings.
Mm-hmm.
They had their pick. Nobody interfere. Mr. Cummings have not gone about making promises to people. The United Party have promised the whole wide world that we're going to pick this one, pick this one, pick this one. And they end up picking somebody that didn't go well with the public. So United Party now have been running with this smear campaign. Oh, Mr. Cummings, nobody left for him to pick. Then the next day, we heard Yumley. Oh no, Yumley declined. 2 days later, we heard about Benson Garfinle. Oh no, it's not him. Now this is Charlene. Oh, it's not. So we don't know why they're running with this thing, and they can't give Mr. Cummings the chance to pick who he want to pick. So that's it's the United Party and the ruling government that keep finding out who is this person. And I think it's good that Mr. Cummings kept everybody in the dark. Tomorrow we'll know the truth.
Okay. But also, let me get a note here that it doesn't mean that since the CPP will be having its convention tomorrow, that it is obligatory or it is by force that the Senate Bureau must name the running mate right there. No.
No, you're right. You
Yeah,
still
he can
got
decide
time,
to
but
delay it.
he still have time. But he have been on many platforms, and he said at the convention or before the convention. So everybody is hoping now.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, that's what it could be because it got up to June to pick who he want to pick. But everyone excited and looking forward to this person. And I hope he picks somebody that will be the hammer. When you hammer something that nobody else can talk about, I hope because he got a good judgment. So I expect he'll come up with somebody good tomorrow if
okay.
the name comes up.
And by the way, tomorrow the bottom line will be on live. We're on live today at the ANC convention. We didn't have the opportunity because we have only one studio set up in Ganta at the moment. So we didn't have two studios, for to have another reporter on the other side. But tomorrow we're gonna have a live coverage of everything that will happen tomorrow, the ones that will be visible to the press. And we promise that hopefully, not 100% promising, but hopefully we'll do our best to bring you the events from the parade to other things. Okay, and so, but Paul, let me ask you one more question. The question I'm going to ask you is like this. Let's look at those names that came. Let's look at them one by one. Let's start with Bezoga Finley. Who do you know Bezoga Finley to be? And what do you think he could be a good pick, just in case the guess by the Unity Party to comes through?
So, Benson Garfield worked in the Senate before, and he was senator for Grand Bassa County, and he became, after he was defeated, he worked in Georgia government as uh, foreign ministers, right? So, Benson got, in 2020, he ran against Yumley, and she beat him narrowly in Grand Bassa County. So for the people in Grand Bassa, he are forced to reckon with. That means they know Benson Philip. But on the other side, he is a sedition. or he came from Unity Party and switched to CDC. So I don't know why his name kept surfacing around a place that President Garfield would be the one. But I think he might be running again for a senatorial post as an independent candidate. So maybe they're thinking that so sending Bazoden are more in those three counties. So I think that's why the Bazoden names are keep popping up. So it could be the case. But I don't think Western Garfield will all he or sedition. So let's put it, I would say there's an X to that name. So I don't know where your pick will be on Western Garfield. What your thoughts?
Well, Benson Garfinley, to be frank, most of the people from Grand Pastor County that I know of, especially those people in the political arena and whose names are popping up, um, I don't know much about Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence because when I was in Liberia, I believe she was not very active in in politics. Um, so that's it. But Paul, just take over. I'm getting a very important call, so let me take his call.
Right. So while you gone, I will play something about Musa Ability and Charlene at their conventions. Why you gone? So I want our audience to listen to this because the convention today, I think Liberty Party convention is today they adopted a new constitution and as it stands they don't have any political leader. So I want our audience to listen to Musa Ability, his interview today. So bear with me one sec. Let me bring this out. I think it's important that we follow what's happening for the CPP at the moment. Let me roll this for most ability.
It was funny you happy man today. I'm happy, very happy. We the national convention has ended. We have a new constitution that takes care of all the issue of the constitution. And then we now have we have also approved the first batch of the CPP candidate for presentation to
Honorable,
for the presentation to the CPP at the CPP National Convention.
Honorable Chairman, yes, I've been wishing to listen to the political leader of this party. After today's convention, what will be the final resolution in bringing out the political leader of this party?
No, as of today, the party does not have a representative. The tenure of Councillor Bransky has been officially closed. Has ended, a new constitution has been approved, and that does not take into consideration any more political.
So the chairman has over the activities of the political party.
Executive committee is down.
What because of those who were suspended, the likes of Youngly,
No, they actually were not suspended from the party. They were removed from their position. But they are still participating.
So today they are not here. What's the signal it shows to Liberty Party?
Nothing. I mean, the fact that they are not here doesn't mean anything. We are resolved. We have a new constitution, and then we absolutely want to see now to move towards restructuring, rebranding the party, and moving the party forward, looking into the future.
Tomorrow seems to be the most anticipated program wherein Arizona B. Kumulubin Nimi is running late. What do you expect of tomorrow's program? What's your expectation?
Tomorrow is the CPP convention. I'm the presiding officer. I look forward to a splendid day. We will do everything we can. The person is listening. That's the burden of leadership. The standard bearer is the one. So I'm going to chill, relax in Ganta, and follow the
What are those big names you think we are in the land, in the web land for tomorrow's program?
I don't want to speculate. I'll wait for him to make a decision. I've always said, whatever decision he makes.
The committee.
Right, that was Mr. Berete over there talking about the Liberty Party convention that the tenure of the political leadership had come to an end and there's no more political leader. They will determine what to do. So that was Musa Hassan Berete. So the CPP goes on to convention tomorrow. And this question have also been around the block about Councillor Charlene Bronsky be picked as running mate. And I want to play this too, so send link for his back for people to hear that was going to be the next question. You want I want you all to listen to Charlene Bronsky as well, then we can talk about it.
Event. As I said, it is the beginning of a new era. Our founding founder, our vision bearer, stands for us in spirit. But it's time now for all of us to hold on to the mantle of truth, of reconciliation, of rule of law, and move forward to change my family. And there are many of us here from Grand Bassa, from Montserrat, who wish that Senator Lawrence was here, who wish that Senator Dillon were here. And we will always welcome them. We will always say, come back home. This is home. Come home to us. We await you with open arms.
One of your pillars, reconciliation, is it working in the Liberal Party? Do you see it on fire?
The beautiful thing about reconciliation, you cannot beat it over somebody's head. You cannot tie somebody's hand. You can't force it to reconciliation. Reconciliation is a mutual thing that must start from one's own desire. So we will continue to extend the hand of reconciliation to everyone. And those who want to come will come. Reconciliation is happening once we have a hand extended. And we wait for the other party to come and join us in it. So our district aspiration, our men and women from Grand Bassa stand here today and say to you. And I will say it openly because I know this is a national radio and people are listening to us.
Interesting.
Linford, so you heard it. You heard from Charlene. You heard from Musa Bidete. The Liberty Party, as it stands, they have no political leader. The tenureship of Yomni Kanga Lauren, Councillor Bronsky, has expired. They adopted a new constitution and moving forward. So you heard Charlene also. She running for her district. She was not one of those people that was elected. So the news that Unity Party saying are running away, she gonna be the running mate. That means she dismissed it. So we'll have our guest on hand tomorrow now. Who will be the person that Mr. Cumming will announce? So we're all excited. We're all hoping for the hammer that will just melt everything out. And then we'll hear all of these noise that Cummings have done it again. And it will be the talk about. And that race that people keep talking about, I see this is Cummings and we are showdown. That's the God's feeling I have. So talk to me, Linford. You heard
Okay.
it.
Because, like you rightly said, that was the next question I'm going to ask because we talk about Besonga Finley. And the next question I'm going to ask is for us to, put Charlie under the microscope. But then since she sounded so dismissive that, uh, she's running for her district, it means that she cannot be vice president or presidential pick and then run for district, or election. So that alone, that statement dismisses everything unless, like you said, we have a guest on him. Mr. Cummings can kind of say, "Bam, it's Charlie." Then of course, then she can drop. But it's not yet impossible, though. You know what I mean? Because right now, since she herself, I want to put her in a position that we are in, that she herself does not know who Mr. Cummings is going to pick, and people have been running with her name too. They say, where you see fire, where you see smoke, there must be some sign of fire. So it would be that Mr. Cummings can say, bam, it's Charlie, and then she would drop her ambition to be representative. So again, we cannot rule that out. But I will say, ask you this question. Let's put her under the microscope. Charlene, she being a daughter of Councillor Bronsky and a very smart young lady too. Okay, what do you think she would have brought in case Mr. Cummings say, okay, I want women inclusion, women participation, not these big things, especially young people. And Charlene had never held any political office before, that is well known of. So I want to bring her to prominence and let her walk in the footsteps of her father. Do you think she would have brought real taste to the party, to the CPP in the coming elections? If that is if she was elected, I mean, or selected.
Linford, we had a show here before, and Charlene
Yeah,
was she was one of my favorite.
we
And
did.
the reason being, looking at Liberia population, look at the demarcation of Liberia. The Liberia as a whole, we have the youngest population on our continent. The youngest. So she's useful at the moment. If you bring Charlene, intelligent woman like her, apart from the government thing, she are working corporate environment. It's just no big difference. Corporate environment is more structured than the government bureaucracy that we have in Liberia. So she bring a lot. Look at the young women that will inspire a lot of young people to. I mean, the women are always more. You look at the population where you have between, let's say, 6 to 25 years old. That is youthful population. And she comes into that, and she will appeal to a lot of young people. If Charlene can make it, why not? I think that's what Henry Costa were pushing for with GMB. So if you look at it, because they were looking at that sector, and then guess what? She's intelligent, and she could step into Mr. Cummins' fold when he's not there to do what she need to do. So I think Charlene she'll bring a good thing on the table.
Okay. Besides her quality educational standing and all these things that you talked about, let's look at the population, because people say vote is all about number. So do you think just the mere name Charlie Bronski would have encouraged the Basso people and say, oh, St. Councilor Bronski is no more around. His daughter is the symbol that represents him. And so let's go behind her. You think it would have happened?
Well, the thing is, after 2017 election, when we're on the ground, one of the things we thought is the Liberty Party and ANC, Mr. Cummins and Mr. Bronsky could have been a good ticket for that country. And so if that happened, it would be the dream that other people had. That what she stepped into her father's shoes and then accomplished what he long been fighting for. How many times he ran for presidency? He's the one that challenged Charles Taylor, you remember? That was the
Mm-hmm.
guy. So he been around. And if she come into that picture, yes, that's dream come true, and she'll end on father legacy. My dad didn't get it, but I got there on his behalf. Yeah.
Yeah, you could also ask me. You are not
Yeah.
my guest
So
tonight.
so I don't know what you think about Charlene, because I think she's good. She have.
Charlie, I would take her from the other angle that women have been crying for participation in the body politics of Liberia over the years, and specifically Ellen Johnson has been in the vanguard. So people even give her this acronym, Iron Lady. And so I know there are a lot of Iron Ladies in Liberia who want to also surface on the political landscape. And so, especially a young lady like Charlene should have made headways. Because remember that Ellen Johnson was almost her age during the days of Tower and when she started all of this political stuff. So all young ladies, I think they want to be the Ellen Johnsons of Liberia, or there is one president. I think the president of Cape Verde. She's a lady. I think it's a Cape Verde one, and she was at one summit. And this lady, two things I admire about her: she's very brave. In fact, three things: she's very brave, that she could stand among the men and talk. The second thing I admire about her is that her voice. I mean, the woman talks like a man. She got a man voice.
Mhm.
Okay, and she's well educated on top of that. So those are the kind of people I like to see, women, especially women. So I think uh, Charlie has that charisma. She could draw many young people even if not to the CPP, but she could draw most of those young people, those young women who hold themselves in a bubble or in their own shells. She could hold them up and say, look, come out. Look at my example. Follow me. So I think challenge should have made a very, very, very good pick. People will condemn her from the start that she doesn't have governmental experience. No, this is the Liberia we live in. And they forget to know that nobody goes to school to become president or vice president. Now, I can name at least one or two leaders around the world that came from no governmental background. The president of Ukraine right now, Volodymyr Zelensky. Volodymyr Zelensky was an actor or comedian, a stand-up comedian, a guy who goes around and saying, make fun and people laugh. And who is he today? He's president. Though his presidency is being marked by war and whatever, but he would have made a very, in fact, he's making a very good president because he still hosts Ukraine against the great Russia. So, he's one of the people I know that did not come from, and he didn't work in a government office. The guy came from the the social world, and he became president. And I understand the president of Brazil also, he's a businessman. He was a former businessman. Okay. And there are several presidents around the world that did not work in government, so to speak, like how Liberian people mentality goes that you got to work in government for 45 years before you can be president. And when you work in government for 45 years, then any other person who coming to rush to pass under you as such as you have become a conduit through which everybody will go to become the president when you yourself you are not even president. But before somebody wants to become president, they should pass through you, according to the Liberian people mentality. So
Wow.
in a nutshell, I think Charlie would have drawn a lot of females, young females especially, that are ambitious or even whose talents are buried. They would have, look at her and say, okay, listen, I can open up, I can be like Charlie.
But Linford, she did show leadership during the crisis within the Liberty Party. You remember, she called
Yeah.
she called a press conference and went on her knee telling them that they should come together. She reached out to them. Could you imagine up to today's date because of greed, they have not come together? And she been singing a song for the past 2 years now. The party need to unite.
Well, somebody is asking whether Charlie is popular across the country. Mafa, what I would say is that, this thing about popularity across the country that Liberian people believe in, it's like, you go to apply for a job, right? And then they say, you need experience. Yes, we agree. But you went to school, you graduated, you went to college, you learned this job. Let's say you are an engineer. Then you go, you see the job, you go apply for it, they say, my man is supposed to have experience. Now in school, nobody teaches experience. They'll teach you the basic of what you need to know, what you learn, what you master in, what the thing you want to do. You want to be an accountant, they teach you accounting. They're not going to teach you experience in the school. So somebody just have to employ you as a starter. And then even if you work one day in that company, then you get experience. But Liberia, if people want to, if she's not popular, how does she become popular? Nobody is born, as we speak. They're born a lot of people in Liberia. They're born children right now, as we speak in Liberia. Who know that? Nobody will know that. If something doesn't happen, if they don't come, and how does one come to prominence? You just got to start from somewhere. So I think the question of popularity that Liberian people always think about, I think this is a wrong yardstick to measure anybody's capability by.
Right. I think she the question is whether she's popular across the country. The thing is, Mr. Cummings is popular, so if he picks somebody, definitely that person people will get to know them based on he puts in the person. I'll say this is the person I'm running with, and that's how people too get to know this person. So I think is what Mark is asking. Is she across the
Yeah.
country?
No, actually, my response is not going directly to Mike. It's going to, because if you look at the political landscape in Liberia, I mean, it happens that it's Mark that asked the question, but the question is not going directly to him. I mean, the answer is not going directly to him, though it's directly to his question. And he's not the only person asking the question, or he's not the only person saying it, because if we look at the political landscape in Liberia today, why is Joe Walker being hailed as what? As the godfather of politics, that somebody has to go through him if they want to become president. Because, I mean, he's serving government for years, and then Ellen Johnson brought him to prominence. Because, I mean, all the time Joe Walker serving government, Ellen Johnson had not made him vice president. Nobody will know him. Okay? So if Charlie could be selected by Mr. Cummings, that would be the beginning of all popularity. You know, saying like people want a popularity thing. And like I said, popularity again is the wrong yardstick to measure somebody's capability by, you know, especially when it comes to governance issue. Because we have tested popularity, and the clear example is right here with us now. Living example, George Weah. Okay, what has he done? Being popular? Nothing. So, you know, like people, you gotta disabuse your mind of this popularity thing. You know, everywhere you go, oh, nobody knows coming. Nobody knows the man, but you're talking about him. So how do you? So you are nobody? How do you call yourself? He said nobody knows the man, but you're calling his name. Because if you do, we do know heaven. So if somebody try to describe how heaven, you know, I don't know it. I can't say it. I can't talk about it. But you're talking about the man every day, then you say nobody knows him. So how do you classify yourself as nobody? So, you know, the popularity thing is what makes Liberian people to always make a wrong choice when it comes to their leaders.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mr. Comey is now called the fixer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the man that is making headway in Liberia, that giving opposition, not position, governmental people giving them nightmare. They don't sleep because people wake up with his name, they eat his name, they give him all kinds of names, and you already said it, that they are afraid of him. This is the man that they call the fixer. They're afraid of him. And when people are afraid of you, they talk about you. If they're not afraid of you, they won't hear anything. So, why am I saying this? Tewon Gonglo is in this race. Mandela Cooper is in this race. Seymour Freeman is in this race. The most talked about politician in Liberia is Mr. Cummings. Every day, somebody they will put up post, they will give him all kind of name. They afraid of Mr. Cummings. And you know why they're afraid of him? He have not stole a dime from anyone, stolen a dime from anyone. And he keep telling people, say, if you want come and serve the country when I'm privileged to lead, if you won't come to steal, I'm not your God. So this is why politician, non-politician, those who related to people in government stealing, they are afraid of this man. And that is the truth. So tomorrow, could you imagine? I think United Liberty Party and ANC parties, this will be putting thing or who will be the running mate. But imagine this, that UP and CDC are bringing on names. Why they so?
You know,
It's kind of funny. Why are they bringing on names?
yeah,
That
there
oh,
is
Mr.
something.
Comey good or wrong with this person? What
There is
concern
something.
them?
There is something called diversionary tactics. They try to divert your attention. They try to some of them do that to influence opinion. Like, okay, you know, maybe we'll bring the person in. In fact, the general belief out there among citizens and you, in fact, especially you know, to be frank, I got a lot of CDC friends and we do our things. But in recent time, they are not being attacking Mr. Cummings like how the Unity Party people have been doing. Okay, they are all over the place. Number 12, I mean, or number, I call it 7%, it will reduce to 3%, it will do this and that. He chasing people. You know, they are more worried about. So I told them, so well, if you know the man cannot find that Mr. Cummings is struggling to find running mate, okay, that is good for you. You already found your ticket, right? It's good for
Yeah.
you. You're supposed to be celebrating. If you are in a boxing ring with your opponent and you see you gave your opponent 1 punch and the opponent is struggling, he landed, he can't even wake up. You should be celebrating. So why will you be talking about him? Don't worry about him. Leave him. You already gave him the knockout blow, so you go stand and celebrate. But they're not doing that. They all want to play. And it's all because of they want to preempt, they want to divert the attention, they want to influence opinion and say, okay, say they believe that it's half of Mr. Cummings to find running mate. So we say, okay, that Charlie, then yeah, maybe you'll go for her. Or we say that Senator Nyomli Kanga, he'll go for her. But they don't know that Mr. Cummings has his plans. And some people even say, oh, you want to be president all the time, you get plan. You say you're working in Kogula. Why is it when you used to go to work, you can't go and play? All kind of thing, And
My
it's
man,
all
I
called
just said
diversionary
to you,
tactics.
the people afraid of the man. They're so scared that wait a minute, this coming man, he this or this. A Sidishan told me in Liberia, he said, my man, that your papa, the papa strong, the papa made the people then oppose sanction on our government. That how afraid they're afraid of this man. I'm telling you, Sidishan will tell you, say, coming that strong man, I don't know what they don't know what to place in. They're afraid of him. And because they're afraid of him, they will. That's why they both party now and talking a quote. Look at it. Any normal country, you ever heard opposition, you sure the opposition unite to fight the government. But in Liberia, because they're so afraid, they join with the government to prosecute the man. They didn't want him to run. And since that ain't happy, they now again jittering. The man was in Nimba County today. They say he's 7% or 1%, I may call it, because 7% and 2B, saying he's 0% and nobody know him. Guess what today in Nimba County? The town chiefs.
The first thing, our United Party friend, they say, all of them honor my post. Show picture now. So I said, but we now in Hollywood. You want to see picture? Go to Hollywood. Then why they shooting films? Go there, you see a lot of picture. And the first thing here is that, Mr. Cummings is not in competition with anybody to they think, okay, let me just throw it across the arch, right? Councilor Gongolo is not in competition with anybody to choose running mate. Matela Kupo is not in competition, even though they are competing to become president, but to choose a running mate, there's no competition about that. Or else you will be having election for a running mate. You say, okay, let's go elect a running mate. It's your choice. Okay? You can pick any turn, take or Harry. Once you feel like you get one with the president. So why would they make it their priority? They begin to go all around the place, jumping up and down, and then they worry that this man is not picking. Okay, say the man is not picking running mate, then don't worry. It's simple. What? It's so simple. Just relax, enjoy yourself. But again, Paul, let me go to the next name that we were hearing, Senator Edward Yala, and this is my Bon County Senate, my former Bon County senator. Senator Yala was senator for one term, and then he was booted out in the second term bid. Now, does that? I mean, that alone tells us that the people did not want him anymore. After serving for one term, they put you out. It means that you don't have any grip on the people. So if he was to be chosen as seditions and UP people are running away, if Mr. Cummings will say, okay, let me listen to seditions and UP people and pick former Senator Edward Yala, what do you think he will bring to the table? This is a man who was just rejected in his own backyard recently.
Linford, it's funny though. I say people, there's a guy on who was in Liberia, used to call a Cantu pusher. You remember that guy?
What the man in Eugene Falcon? Why you playing
I
with
mean,
me?
you remember the one who called us Cantu pusher?
Yeah.
This is the man that bomb off everybody in Liberia for CDC. Because he a travelist, he started a nonsense that JMB from Lofa County, Johnny with Henry Yala and others from Bon County, then Jeremiah Kuhn from Nima. It's over. That means they have the number, they go on a travel thing. It's the same you people now come back again, say, oh, maybe Cummings going to pick this man. So how that possible? You see? So that was I said earlier, UP is more worried about who Cummings going to pick than the one they already have. You see? So they come up with all sort of names. And Yara is who? He didn't support we are. That's answer your question.
Okay. Yeah, and he's from my Nimba County, and I know that the Nimba County people, when they make decision, trust them, they will make it, and that's why probably people say the parent was stupid. They're not stupid; they are slow to act, but when they act big time in a kind of way. If bien parent woman, you if ask one time move from Biama woman, so now you know when he catch you, he will chop you. That parent they quit to do bad thing. They are people with strong will, and when they say they don't want you, then something is wrong. You see, so if Senator Yala was booted out in his second round, now I'm not too sure if Prince Moi was so that strong to kick him out, but it happened and that's it. But the question here is a man who was just put out in the past election, and then if you go take person like that, you know, there will be a lot of baggage hanging on him. Okay, it's like a Prince Johnson bringing somebody to lift their hair up. You see, you gotta look at the pros and cons, because at the end of the day, after you have selected your running mate, you gotta go to elections, and that's when it's very easy to select a running mate, right? But you got a running mate. You can even sit down in your house and set up all your cabinet, but you got to go to election. You got to be elected. So the question is, what does my running mate bring along with me? Even if he's not bringing a bunch of votes, but let him bring some repetition that people will look at, that will match your repetition, and then say, yeah, this is a ticket. So I think the selection of a running mate for me, like I said, is not the most difficult thing, but the criteria, the vetting process, what this person will bring, how will this person's presence with me affect my entire being. So all these things gotta be considered. But if you have anything else to add, you can add it, Paul.
No, I think the running meeting will leave it until tomorrow, because what happened is that day that we're waiting for some kind of bombshell to just hit, some tsunami to hit Liberia. That they, when a tsunami happen, the way the sea can react, it would just flow over Liberia like that. That, oh, this is the Hammond. And so looking forward to whoever Mr. Coming, he got a good judgment, so no doubt about it. He's calm in doing his thing, but he knows how to do his work. So I'm looking forward to somebody great tomorrow, a big name. And that's the name we're all excited and waiting for. Whoever he picks, that person would be a strong person. I can tell you for a fact that he will take his time. He know he done his homework, and he's going to surprise people tomorrow. My gut feeling is it could be yummy tomorrow. You never know.
Yeah, that's why when we were talking about challenge, I said, well, nothing is impossible,
It,
because
it could be yummy tomorrow. Who
yeah.
knows? So we are waiting for the big thing to happen tomorrow. And that was, when position is changing, it's switching this way. All the noise that people been calling tomorrow, now we're gonna see when he hit the knock the hammer on the nail head, and everybody say, wow, Mr. Cummings has done it. And then those who having sleepless night, they will have a more and more until reach October 10th, because that's where it's going to start from. And we will promote that person that he's going to bring. I mean, UP and CDC, they're in trouble. Those two are in trouble. And I keep seeing the thing where they say, oh, second round, when a tsunami hit, it can be 51+1. That's landslide. And Mr. Comey is heading that way. Yet and keep causing noise, say he what, 7%. Didn't see nothing yet. The 7% will turn to 1,000%. Watch, mark my word. Save the tape today. There will be a shock in Liberia, and people not seeing it. The way it's gonna come like that, whoop, from the ocean. So this is Liberia. Watch from tomorrow. People not gonna sleep. I saw a post today that cracked me up. Therefore, this guy who lie on Mr. Cummings say he's gay. Obey posted something. The way I looking at Mr. Cummings, I think that man a Nigerian man, he lying to Liberia. You worry about it. I saw that thing. I said, but these guys, they have nothing else to come up with. So they're breaking all sort of trash, coming up with absolutely nothing. But tomorrow, my brother, they will not sleep good starting from tomorrow. Even the GMB2 will not sleep good. Trust me.
I saw a similar post that says Mr. Comey does not speak. They already in their mind they've already selected a running mate. It's sad that he and his running mate cannot speak any Liberian language. Then I reply, is that a new requirement now? That he's supposed to speak some kind of Liberian dialect in order
They
to be
are worried.
president
They
and
are
running?
worried. They are so worried. And so let's talk about Nimba. Mr. Cummings entered Nimba County. This man that have no number. But look at the people that came out to see Mr. Cummings. Even the elders in the town. I just want to show this Linford, and then you see, these are all elders in Nimba County. When the elders meet you, they greet you like this. You see that one, that color nod, right? That means, son, you are welcome. All these nonsense people talking about Nimba County, Prince Johnson will deliver Nimba County. Mr. Cummings will have the highest vote from that county. Mark this tip today. Because
There
I
is
know,
there-
there are a lot of Nimbadians that support Mr. Cummings and they doing serious groundwork. He will pour a number in Nimba County that will shock a lot of people. I said it will be a tsunami, and I mean it. This is what happening in our very eyes.
there was
Talk to us.
a newspaper article that I saw today. I
Mhm.
believe it's in a deal or so. It says that Nima divided over Kun. Now, and if we should relate it to what you just saying, your prediction, how bad would that be for the people who depend on Nima County? Because it's like the UP people, they now depend on Nima County and they will do anything possible. They will dance with the devil just to get a vote for Nima County, according to them. That as long as they want the votes, they will dance with the devil. So a newspaper, a prominent newspaper coming out to say that Nima County is divided over this appointed man, this saint that is supposed to deliver Nima County, and his own country is divided. How bad does that sound? Or how
It
good
sound,
does that sound? Let me put it this way. How good does that sound?
it sound good in Cummings' favor. And I can tell you this. Prince Johnson, I think this is the year that people, he too, and he running to be senator, he will be shocked. It sounds good that Nimba County is divided because you got why you get Taiwan, you get a Jeremiah Kuhn, then you got Cummings. And
And
the Nimba,
CDC, don't forget about
oh
CDC.
yes, CDC as well.
Mhm.
But then, since 2017, which of those politicians have been doing extremely well in Nimba County? Think on this carefully. The, the politicians that have visited Nimba County most than all,
There are two that I know.
give the two names.
Mr. Cummings and Councilor Tiawan Konglo, because
And
for
Councillor
Tiawan,
Tewon Gonglo.
yeah,
Right.
for him it will be automatic because he hails from there.
That his
He know,
county.
yeah, he
Right.
knows almost everywhere.
So
But
what I'm saying here, the work that Mr. Cummings has done in Nimba County, not only the work, but then the supporter that people that carry him from Nimba County, they are in, I think the ANC number, Nimba County, if you check, they have the highest. And the guys are working. That was it will be a shock that Mr. Cummings will win Nimba County in their own eyes. Is divided, but he will win Nimba County. That's why I'm saying there will be a tsunami in Liberia and it will shock a lot of people. Now, Nimba County, Mr. Cummings know he's strong. When you have the process, Beku is strong, that area he's strong. Montserrado County, what was his position in the last election? He came third place. That number have increased. So Montserrado County, he will win Montserrado County. And I can say this for a fact. He will win Montserrado County. So the fear here is the ground that he gaining. It's not small ground. For the southeast, he will win the southeast. So I'm seeing there's a landslide we're looking at. People saying there'll be, how they call it, round, this second round. I'm not looking at that second round because I don't even consider Unity Party in this anymore. It's between Weah and Cummings. It will be a landslide, my brother. Mark this date. Say I said it. I'm not a prophet, but I look at it from a distance.
Okay. Now, let's look at the program itself in Nimba County today. Uh, for people who watched the bottom line this afternoon, they saw that um, there were two conventions going on simultaneously. The Liberty Party had a convention and the ANC had their convention. And the reason why the two conventions went on together is that the two parties involved are in a collaborations or in a collaboration together. And as such, they are supposed to do this convention the same time almost, which happened the same time, so that they will be able to come together as a collaboration to finally endorse Mr. Cummings or their leader. And the biggest one will be tomorrow. But the point I want to make here is that, Paul, you saw the program, at least you watched the bottom line, and you listened to our correspondent, whom we tried getting, but we didn't get right now because he may be busy with some other things. He said all of the counties were represented, meaning their delegates were there, both from Liberty Party and the ANC. So how packed or how jammed do you think this program is going to be tomorrow? You think you're going to have a turnout?
You saw Yeka Koruba when he entered Nima yesterday.
I saw his
Wow.
picture, but I didn't see him entering.
Oh wow. He entered with motorcyclist. The 10 hour will be great, and I can say for a fact that I know there are huge pressing from the 15 counties that have gone there. Just think about this. Just how bad the roads are from the southeast. All those counties send their representative to this program. And a lot of people left from Wednesday. They started arriving in Ganta. Ganta is packed, so I expect the 10 over to be great. And when our announcement come in tomorrow, watch our correspondent what he going to show us tomorrow. So yeah, the 10 will be great.
Okay. Then, you know, I, I really have questions to ask. But again, I cannot ask you these questions because you and I are almost the same. We are the moderators here. We
I
cannot
can
give,
I can only give my opinion.
yeah, you can only give your opinion. But I don't want to push it. But let me do it this way. Let me play around it this way, Paul. Nimba County is a county that almost everybody is looking at. And with the presence of Mr. Cummings in Nimba County right now, and the convention is taking place in Ganta City, the most lively city in Nimba County, do you think this is going to sway opinions? Like people who are sitting on the fence and saying, well, the Prince Johnson man, even though he's from here, but we want to vote for him, but or we don't want to follow his selection of vice president. And so we're sitting down, we're just waiting. And then Mr. Cummings going there or the CPP going there. You think people it's going to help people to change their mind and say, okay, yeah, I think we can go on this side? What do you think?
Linford, what I think Prince Johnson, the group that used to support, I would say used to, right? Support Prince Johnson. That group have been fading away
Yeah.
gradually. If you enter Liberia today, you see the little children like ants, and it's everywhere in Liberia. You go to from Maryland to Cape Mount, everywhere you see children in Liberia like ants. Do you know some of them didn't know Prince Johnson? That Nima you see, the 20-year-old today in Nima, 25-year-old, that people are born just the early
After the
90s, right? I mean 2000, 1997, you found that group. These are people that don't know Prince Johnson, and they're going to decide the country fate. Now the old people that they were using the thing about, oh, Prince Johnson for war, he defended. So the thing is, going to Nimba County for this convention, it make a lot of sense strategically. It will save a lot of people mind from that end, because we know Nimba also have been working extremely well in that area, telling that people to vote comings. So having a convention there, I think it's a big boost to the CPP.
Okay,
And you look
again,
at it
folks.
because you from that region, so you look at it too. And you might, what I'm saying, the old people gone.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Prince Johnson group, like, people that he came with and fought war with, and their families that were living at that time, most of them have gone. Like, most of the special forces who Prince Johnson could relate to and say, no, listen, we all brought this war, and we defend our people, and so you go and talk to your people. Most of them are dead. Now, you got people like Abo Zopia, who he and Prince Johnson cannot see eye to eye. Okay, so there's a big divide in Nimba County. I will tell you that. And the divide in Nimba County is both on travel land and is both on policy as well.
Right.
And the Gyo and the Mano people, they all live in Nimba County, but there's a clear divide that you can see. There is a clear divide, both landmark and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
The Gyo people, they are Gyo people. They say we are Gyo people. The Nimba County is one. We are Gyo people and we are Mano people. We get a B people, we get a Basso people there. So you see, it's a divide. And so a lot of people go different ways. So for one man to beat his chest and say, I got a key to the people, and that if I endorse you, I'll bring all the people to you. I think that's a joke. No, and those were the days back. With the likes of Councillor Gongro, who also come from Nima. You can boast, we're not more Nimayan than him. You got Jeremiah
Exactly.
Wapo, we're not more Nimayan than him. So how will you stand and say you are the godfather of this county and that you can deliver all the votes there? I mean, for me, this is foolhardy. And for people who will fall for such a little trick, a very simple childish trick, I think they too must have some problem, But again, these are the people that we deal with. These are the voters that we deal with. And you can't tell, you can't underestimate the way they think, the way they do they do things. So we just have to go with the flow and do the best that we can do. But let's come to the one of the most sticky issues here. Say the Liberty Party remains divided like it is now. What is the chance of especially after these elections that the other half of Unity Party, headed by Senator Kanga, Kanga Lawrence refuses to come to the Musa ability fashion. It remains like this and election goes on. Luckily for Mr. Cummings, he wins. What do you think will happen to Liberty Party? Are they going to still have two Liberty parties? Because
No,
the reason I'm asking the question, this would have been the perfect opportunity for them. Saying they all have that level in Yomli Kanga Lawrence that went to JMB, they are already broken away because they disappointed them and they got nowhere to actually belong. I'm not saying this will bring them down, but it's clear. Everybody knows that right now they got nowhere to belong. You see? So if they remain divided and election comes, what do you think will happen?
Linford, if a party have a constitution, it have structure, everybody abide by the rules. I mean, people were elected to those posts and they continue those people that, so the Liberty Party have a what? Executive committee, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and you saw their convention today. You saw Charlene and others were there. They have people from the 15 counties. So when two people decide to leave for their own greed and they keep saying we'll extend our olive branch to you, come back, and they keep refusing, let them go. The party will still continue and the party will grow. So you let them go. Because they say God will come from heaven and talk to you. The Mr. Cummings that they talk to court, they all want to prosecute. What he did, he went to Yomi said, I want you can be my running mate. That's what we heard. I don't know how truth it is, but that the story was going around. So
Yeah, but at least
somebody,
the fact that he went to visit her.
exactly. This is the man that you help to prosecute. He still want to see you. You come and unite your party. Nobody will come from heaven and talk to them. They all calling for that unity. So in the meanwhile, will join their party. If not, no, the party will go on. It will grow. And if they become government, they share it tomorrow. What become of them? They will just be senators and then be waiting for their time for them to kick them out come 2029. That's how it will be. So they
But you know,
actually broke their party into pieces. So
if you just joining us, this is the bottom line. We're coming to you from Norway and from UK. And so people will say, oh, but how? We got studios in UK, we got studios in Norway, and presently, Studio 3 is in Ganta City, Nimba County, from where tomorrow we'll be bringing you all of the happenings, like Herbert Grisby, the great commentator, football commentator of Liberia, the former, will say, we'll bring you the play-by-play description. So that means everything that will be happening tomorrow in Ganta City, from the parade, the indoor program, and the speeches, everything will be on the bottom line tomorrow. And
and the big announcement.
and the biggest announcement, of course, that's the highlight.
Yeah.
And so just you know, stay tuned tomorrow to the bottom line, because we'll make sure that we'll bring you everything. And then on Tuesday, we'll also be debuting on the radio in Liberia. Uh, if all goes well, because we could not last week or this week because of some technical issues, which I believe would have been sorted out by now. So we hope to be on the radio on Tuesday. And then tomorrow, like I said, your weekend will be highlighted, because we'll bring you everything possibly we can from Ganta City, Nimba County. And Paul, you want to give us a little bit of announcement about your activities in the UK and that will be happening in Norway prior to the coming of Mr. Cummings to Europe?
Thank you, Lee, for actually on the 27th of this month, the it's ANC UK is having their family fund day, is a fundraiser, and they'll be including there's a park called Lord Park, and the details will publish it on Tuesday. And that people will be traveling from all parts of Europe coming to that activities, and we're looking forward to that. I think the organizing team is working extremely hard to get this happening. And then on the 9th, the weekend of the 9th, we should be heading to Norway. And I expect you guys in Norway to send all the details and the flyers so we can also publish that. Then on the 30th of June, that Friday, the 30th, the 1st, and 2nd of July, we end up in Stockholm, Sweden. So as the momentum going to wave, this is going to send out that wave, the sea wave tomorrow. It will go across Liberia, and it's also be we're not far from Africa, so it will be heading this way, Europe, and then before we send it to America, because they behind, we ahead of them. By the time they wake up, we on it. So yes, this is the announcement. So we'll be we'll be in London, we'll be in Norway, and then we'll be in Stockholm, Sweden. Those are the activities coming up. And then we end up in Liberia with the campaign where Bottomline will be fully participated in every move that Mr. Cummings and his running mate, including Mount Teresa, wherever they move, Bottomline will be with them. So we'll tell our audience to stay tuned. This year, we will all be on the ground. I can guarantee that.
And you know, this year's elections, all, all of the elections that I have seen, my first very active election was 1997, and then I left. So I've not taken part in any of the elections in Liberia, and then I found myself engaged in this one in this way. But I think this election is very very interesting for the fact that two of the front runners, the two top opposition leaders, have acronyms attached to them. You got Rescue One, then you got Rescue Two, and we got Fixer One, and we are awaiting Fixer Two. But I want us to make distinction between something here.
So that fixture one.
Yeah,
And that would be the photo that you use only by the people.
okay. And then I will do something, like to fix and to rescue. Okay. Now, I want to find the meaning of the word rescue. I know the meaning is to save, but I just want for our listeners. So I will find it quick. Okay. To rescue is to save from danger or to to free something that's in captivity. Okay. And to fix means to mend, to something that is broken, to mend it together, something that is damaged. And let put it like brown way, something that chakla for you to put it back together. Now, so we look at Liberia in this context. Okay, let's contextualize it. Liberia in this context. Liberia, from what we know, from at least from when I was growing up, comparing this Liberia today, they are not the same. Meaning that Liberia is broken. Okay, Liberia is damaged. Infrastructure is damaged. Rule of law is damaged. All social activities are damaged. I remember vividly when we were boys, we had our school dances and talent shows, and that was
Mm.
the play that Jack had to play instead of Jack just working all day long, okay, to become a door boy. I
Right.
don't know if those things still happen, and if they happen, how good is it in a country where you find dead body everywhere? Whose child will want to go to talent show where they'll be coming home around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning? So based on that, my own assessment, I feel that the social activities that we used to go through are all broken down. The structure is broken down. Okay, and at least I got things to back my statement. Then let's look at the rule of law. No, anybody can practically drive car into you and kill you and just go and leave your body there and go. Nothing will happen to him. Somebody can watch your house and knock your door and grab you and call your tree and go because the government is doing nothing. Hmm? Children getting raped. You find somebody was just telling me that the phone or little girl around 10 to 11-year old, they say she hang herself. Why would a child like that know about hanging themselves? Okay, so all these things, no law and order. Then the biggest thing, the economy is bad. The economy has become so bad to the point where daddies go to work, they're scared to come home because they're not bringing no plastic bag. All the children they say that they're more open. Mama said waiting for you. By the time can you in trouble? So, based on all of those things, I can conclusively say that the economy or the country is broken down, is bad. And the only time you can rescue something is if that thing is in tight but it's stranded. Okay, let me give you another example. Paul, you come in. If when earthquake takes place or tsunami, like you're talking, we saw tsunami taking place in some countries years back. We have seen earthquake over and over. The most recent one was in Turkey. All the structures will break down. Then people who survive are the ones to be rescued. But all the structure, the whole country will spoil, will damage. So does the president of that country say, I'm going to rescue my country or I'm going to fix it? So I wanted to put this into context. One of our candidates is saying that he will rescue. And how can you rescue a broken down system, something that is broken down? You can only rescue something that is intact, like if the earthquake take place and you see that people live, they are under the rubble, you can go and rescue them. But in order to fix this structure that is damaged, you just got to fix it, got to redo it. And then our other candidate says, I'm the fixer. So, looking at the status of Liberia today, now, time to contextualize, right? Looking at the status of Liberia today, the two candidates, who's on point? What can you say? Talk to me, Paul. I mean, look at it your own way.
Therefore, I'll look at it in a common way,
Mm-hmm.
very simple way.
Mm-hmm.
You set a trap for deer,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a dog. That dog accidentally went into that trap and
Into the
caught.
trap,
So you come and rescue the dog, right?
right?
Okay. Now, when something is damaged, you get people to patch it. They're fixing it some way for it to work. The person who claimed to be rescue one is the one that actually damaged the system for 12 years. You get what I'm saying? So the
Mm-hmm.
thing that you broke into pieces, and then you can say, I want to rescue the thing that broke. How you rescue something is when a glass is broken. The only way you put a broken glass together, if you use or how they call it, uh, um, glue. You know the glue to just put it together like you have a box, so you're trying to put things together.
Mm-hmm.
You broke it, and you say, "Oh, after 47 years in government, you give me chance that let me rescue the country." It's the country. It's not singing. It's not accident. You just have to break the country into pieces. So now somebody who have not been part of the system say, well, I look if from outside, I see it this way, and then I can put the country back together. So that rescue one and two, they broke the system before.
Okay.
So the one who coming from outside,
Uh-huh.
so but I like there's a third candidate who said he will sweep.
Mm-hmm.
And what he meant, the people who claim to be rescue one, they stole from us. So he want to sweep them,
Sweep all of them.
all of them. So you see,
Yeah, that's why I said this election is very interesting for me because of the different ideas and all of those acronyms, all of those names that they're giving themselves, all stand for something very interesting. But let me go back to your example about a trap, right? You set a trap for the animal. Then mistakenly, like you said, your own dog go and catch the trap. You go there to rescue your dog. And then in the instance where your trap was damaged, maybe by another animal or by your own dog,
exactly.
what you do? And you will fix it.
You get somebody to fix it
You
because you
fix
can't
it.
fix it. Yeah.
Mhm. So you see, Mr. Cummings is saying, I'm the fixer. I'm going to fix this thing that you people damaged. Then somebody say, I'm going to rescue. Why are you rescuing? There is nothing for you to rescue. It's damaged. When something gets damaged, you fix it.
Yeah.
You don't rescue something that is damaged. This is common. That's why I brought that idea. This is common thing. Anything you can fix is something that is broken. And some of the things that are broken cannot even be fixed easily. You can either replace it. But in the case of Liberia as a country, you cannot replace Liberia. You can't say, well, we'll move Liberia and go bring different country. So the only thing we can do is to fix it. So you cannot rescue something that is damaged. So I hope the Liberian people listening. Now, if you get anything, you can bring it on for to discuss. But I'm just looking at things critically tonight. And you know, I hope Liberian people are following. That somebody will say they want to rescue a country that is totally damaged. Like I gave you examples. The law, there's no law and order. You'll see how your children be killed. So how can somebody rescue that kind of thing? You got to fix the system that is damaged. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you got can you imagine that the future of Liberia would have lost two good generations? And to get a third generation into action, well, that's going to take some magic because the reason I'm saying it is that the children that are born during the war, they are a set of generation that have spilled over to this generation, their own children, the generation
Yeah.
of their own children. And what did they bring to this generation? They brought violence,
Mm-hmm.
no education, no manners, nothing. And then they are born in children. So what you think their children will be? So we got two great generations here that are totally out of use. And then ask yourself, begin to worry about the other children that are being born by this generation that knows nothing. that can do nothing, what will become of them? And who's going to actually teach them anything? So it's like library needs to be fake. We need to start from all over, from somewhere. So
Linford, I'll
everybody
tell
got
you
to think about
some.
this.
I'll tell you something.
Mhm.
It was 19. I think it was 1998 or 97 or 98.
Mhm.
We had a symposium in London, and one of the things that we talk about as we get older, because of lack of education in Liberia, we will have to leave from retirement age to even go teach
Go back to
classroom,
work, yes.
to go back to work. Because babies born in babies that don't know nothing, this is where you get in Liberia that people can give their hand out and the Liberian message to conjure them to do something stupid. And that's why you get a lot of young people called Zokos because they don't know left from right. This is
Hmm.
a situation that we face with in Liberia. And when it comes to the people who go to school today in Liberia, most days are the young girls. The boys seem to go behind pimping. So we have a problem. But that problem we have is also extended into the diaspora. That young children that came from Liberia at that age too, they refuse to go to school. It's the
Hmm.
girls that are going to school. So this is where we are. That problem is a big problem that we have on hand. So don't be surprised when you're 90-year old, they ask you to be in wheelchair to go red on blackboard. Don't be surprised. Or we do what the other people did in the past by going to Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and other people to recruit people. That could be on the table. But
Hmm.
Liberia, it is what it is.
Well, our time is fast spent, or by way of announcement, like we said, we'll be on the radio in Liberia by next week, and we will be actually broadcasting for only 1.5 hours. So we got to learn to stick
So
to our
let
one
me
and a half
put
hour.
this out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we
This is
we
the bottom
good.
line live discussion, and these are the panelists. So every Tuesday from 7 o'clock Liberian time, which should be 8 o'clock UK and 9 o'clock Central European time, will be on Rare Power radio station, and we'll also you will find on YouTube, Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're everywhere. You can also download the symbol in the middle. There is the online radio symbol. You can download it from the app stores and have it on. It's 24/7, so you can always follow us. So yes, we're here on Tuesday. We'll be live in Liberia, and we're going to push the case. We're going to make our voices heard, and then we will sell Mr. Cummings and the agenda, but we're waiting for the big announcement tomorrow.
Thank you, Paul. And so we look forward to a great show on Tuesday, but then uh, we cannot reach to Tuesday without Saturday. So Saturday is going to be tomorrow, the biggest one. And like we said already, all ears will be glued, all eyes will be shiny. Those of all who get pop eyes, you will see a well, kulo kulo. We'll be looking, and then we'll be hearing the biggest announcement tomorrow. And so we'd like to say thank you very much if you join us tonight. For the first time, we welcome you. You can join us on Tuesday, or in fact, you can like our page so that anytime we come on, we'll be alerted, and then you can follow us. And your comments will also be invited as well. This is where we keep it safer. We do not insult people. There we can go after you politically. We can talk about what you're doing, but we not insult you because we believe in civility. We believe in respect because we want people to respect us in return. And so, Paul, if you have your last words, you just give it, and then you decide which music to take us home. But there was a music you played for Mr. Cummings last week and or last Friday,
Yeah.
or that was
Okay.
Tuesday rather, and that's the music that I like again.
I will
Almost
find.
everything you bring, I like it. So I know which one I will really let go. You
Yeah.
decide.
So sorry. I'll say thanks to our viewers and kindly share our page. This is a new page. The old page we have, we have CDC and UP send people to hack it, but this one we managed to get this one running. And when we're talking about then they want to hack also, we are now prepared than the previous page we have. So please share our page, like it, and then what I want to say for all the CPP ANC Liberty Party members, tomorrow will be a bombshell. Tomorrow will be an exciting day for all of them and all of us that support Mr. Cummings. Tomorrow will be the turning point in Liberia history, thing they have not seen before. This guy is coming with a hammer. And tomorrow, from tomorrow now, we'll have the sea wave. We'll call it a wave of Cummings. It will just wave across the nation. And come October 10th, I say will be a landslide. We'll have that 51 plus 1%. And people should still focus, believe in Mr. Cummings, believe in that he can do it. And when I was on the ground, the work I saw the team are putting in, that gave me the confidence that Mr. Cummings will win the thing with a landslide. As we go further, we're also going to join them in Liberia to make the case. So don't lose hope. Forget about people writing trash, confusing people every day that UP and CDC doing. But tomorrow will be the turning point. So, Linford, on that note, I want to say like thank you for being on the show always. Tomorrow, we're looking forward to the correspondent from the ground there, and we want to see what's going to happen. I'm excited, but I wish I was in Monrovia or Ganta today to be part of that enjoyment. I mean, I'm jealous of money and others on the ground, man.
And can you imagine?
Yeah,
Ganta
so
does not sleep. Normally, Ganta does not sleep, and then you got
tell me
conventions.
about it. You see, I live in Ganta. I went to Ganta mentally when I was small, so I know exactly. Ganta don't sleep. So this is why I'm saying I wish I was there, and it will make the case. And so on that note, I will say thanks to our viewers for being with us. On Tuesday, we'll have the 4 panelists back here. Mark will be with us also. And then we're going to hit the airway in Liberia. And this is the time. The battle starts, and we're going to continue that fight. So, Linford, I say good night to our people. And then I will leave you with a beautiful ANC women gather at the CPP party headquarters. And they were thinking a little thing. And this is just the icing on the cake. What's going to happen tomorrow?